Hey guys, Ambience here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to beat Night 4 on Five Nights at Freddy's 2, so let's go ahead and get straight into it. This night is going to be pretty similar to Night 3, but there are going to be some minor differences, and obviously you're going to have to play it more optimally, you're going to have to be faster, you're going to have to be more efficient on Night 3. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Mute this call, pull up the monitor, and start winding the music box as usual. One of the main things that you're going to notice be different about this night is the animatronics. Toy Chica has now gone missing. Toy Freddy is still missing, but as you can see, Mangle is back with a vengeance. So Mangle has returned and has a pretty aggressive AI, but Toy Freddy and Toy Chica are missing. Alright, once that more threatening sound starts to play, then you are going to want to start to pull down the monitor and flash the hallway a few times. You're going to also want to listen out for the next audio cue, which is banging around in the vents. I think I may have heard it there, but I'm not sure. If you think you heard an audio cue, it's always best to react as if you're sure that you heard it. Otherwise, then you're probably going to get killed, and FNaF 2 doesn't really have much resource management, so yeah, it'll be fine. Unlike FNaF 1, you're not, like, wasting power or anything. You're wasting flashlight battery, but the chance of running out of that is pretty low. It's all about time as opposed to resource management. There's Mangle in the hallway. One thing that I wanted to point out is certain animatronics, even though they appear at the far end of the hall like this, actually cannot enter through the hall. Withered Bonnie and Mangle are the ones that come to mind. The only animatronics that can enter through the hall are Withered Freddy, Toy Freddy, and I believe Withered Foxy. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't have like a comprehensive list of animatronics in front of me right now, and I'm kind of trying to focus, so that might be an incomplete list, so I apologize, but yeah, Withered Bonnie, Toy Chica, and Mangle are the ones I recall appearing in the hallway the most. Those cannot come through the hallway. They can only come through the vents, so if they show up in the hallway, do not worry about it. Using the flashlight will stun them and will prevent them from moving to the vents, but they cannot actually kill you from the hallway if you don't use the flashlight enough. Foxy, however, can, so I'd recommend using the flashlight a lot anyway. As we can hear, Mangle is currently in the right vent, so let's go ahead and wait until we don't hear the radio static. Take the mask off, check the hallway again. Go ahead and wind up the music box. And now's about the time, I think, there's Foxy and Mangle at the end of the hall. That's a little creepy. So, yeah, another thing that I wanted to talk about is how long should you wind up the music box? Because this wasn't really a huge bang, I guess, in previous nights, but Foxy is way more aggressive on this night, and the music box obviously winds down quite a bit quicker. So, I think it's a good time to talk about it. So, obviously, it depends on the night that you're on. On night 4, I would recommend winding it up for, I'd say, no more than 8 or 9 ticks. I feel like 8 or 9 ticks is the absolute most that you want to do on night 4. Otherwise, you stand a very high chance of getting killed by Foxy. And if you play this night optimally and nothing goes terribly, terribly wrong, you shouldn't need to wind it up for more than 5 or 6 ticks, really, at any point. Like, if a withered animatronic appears in front of you and, you know, like, it stalls out or you have to wait on a vent animatronic or something, then obviously you're going to have to wind it up for a little bit longer, but there should be no situation on this night, if you play it properly, where you wind for 8 or 9 ticks and it's not fully filled up. Like, it should be fully charged, basically. If you wind up for 8 or 9 ticks, you should never let it get that low, unless you just are in literally the worst situation imaginable, which I can't even comprehend what would cause a music box to go that low on night 4 if you're playing well. So yeah, we're basically just going to be following this strategy up until 6 a.m. You're just going to check the left light, flash the hallway a few times, flash it a little more, Foxy's there, check the right vent light, then pull up the monitor. One thing that I wanted to talk about that I think I briefly mentioned in the past, but I want to mention it again. Do not instinctively pull up the monitor after checking the vent lights. Unlike the withered animatronics, where we just, you know, plop on the mask as soon as we pull down the monitor, you are going to have to actually consciously process the vents. Like, see, I see Balloon Boy in there, I put on the mask. That's what I do. I don't just, like, check the vent and then immediately pull up the monitor. I actually consciously register what's in there, and if there's nothing up there, all clear, that's when I pull up the monitor and I start winding up the music box. Always pay attention to the vent lights, because unlike FNaF 1's door lights, they do not produce any kind of audio cue when an animatronic is lurking in the vents, and that can be very hazardous for your character's health. Alright, so there's Withered Chica. Take the mask off as soon as you can, of course. Flash the hallway multiple times. There's Withered Bonnie. You're going to want to leave your mouse around here. Always turn to the left side of the office. It just makes it easier while you're doing that. unless you're using a very specific strategy for 1020, but that's a topic for a later video. Alright, flashlight battery is starting to run out relatively quickly, even though resource management is not as prevalent in this game as it is in FNaF 1. You are still going to have to pay attention to it. I find that it's way easier for me to preserve flashlight battery on much harder modes as opposed to easier. Like nights 4 and 5, whenever I play them, I usually run out of flashlight battery, but I don't on 1020. It sounds kind of weird, but I think it's just because I'm so busy doing other stuff on 1020, I can't run out of flashlight battery. That's really the only thing I can think of. So yeah, be sure not to overuse the flashlight. Like, flash Foxy a few times, but don't just, like, completely go ham and, like, use it as much as possible, because you are going to run out of battery eventually. And it's not really necessary anyway. Foxy's AI level is set to 7, I believe, on this night, so he is way more aggressive than on night 2 and 3, for sure. But I wouldn't worry about it too much, honestly. AI level 7 is still much, much lower than AI level 20. So don't just be mindlessly spamming the flashlight like he's on AI level 20. And once again, what I wanted to talk about, we're almost at 6 AM, so this video is starting to come to a close. But what I wanted to talk about real quick before we get there is FNaF 2, practice matters so much in this game. It matters so much more than any other game in the entire FNaF series. So, if you guys can't beat one of the later nights after watching one of these guides, it's probably just because you haven't played the game enough. Like, these guides will help you for sure, They'll give you a better understanding of what you're supposed to do. But really, the only way you can be great at FNaF, and especially FNaF 2, is if you actually play the games a lot. So, I mean, you know, just get in there. Get over whatever's stopping you from playing these after watching these guides. And, you know, just get in there and practice as much as possible. If you fail, you're just going to get better at the game. So, don't worry about it too much. That's how I beat 1020 mode. Lots and lots of hours of trial and error. Should be rolling around to 6 AM any second here, I would think. Stop Foxy from killing us in the meantime. That would be nice. There we go, 6 AM. So, yeah, Night 4 is basically just Night 3, but you're going to have to react a little bit quicker, which, luckily for you, you don't have to consciously register what's in front of you, so your reaction time isn't going to really have to be that much more efficient after all. Here's a creepy little cutscene with a puppet peeking at you, but, I don't think we're going to watch the entirety of that. You guys can look up some compilation or something on YouTube if you want to see all the cutscenes. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching this guide. I hope it helped you, and I'll see you in the next one.